Welcome, everybody. I'm Marc David, and we are in the Psychology of Eating podcast. And I'm here today with Dayana. Welcome, Dayana.
Hi, Mark. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm so glad we're doing this together. Where are you geographically right now?
I'm in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, the most
Oh,
beautiful island in the Caribbean.
oh, good for you. I've been there at least once for a wedding, and it was just so beautiful. It was on the ocean. I had such a good time.
You should come back. And when you come back, please call me or write to me. I would love to meet you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. So, for those of you that are new to the Psychology of Eating podcast, Diana and I have never had a session together, and we're going to spend an hour or so and see if we can help further you along on your journey with food and body. So let me ask you this question. If you could wave your magic wand and get whatever you wanted right now in life when it comes to food and body, what would that look like?
I would love to stop sabotaging myself with my eating patterns.
Mhm. And tell me what sabotaging yourself with eating looks like.
Well, um, it's right now. I'm going to talk right now when I'm living right now.
Yes.
Um, I am. I was a person that all my life was fat. I got to the point to be obese. So 2 years and a half ago, more or less, I decided to do bariatric surgery. And in this process of getting to know myself, taking off the excess pounds that didn't let me be who I truly am, I started to get to know myself and study and deepen on the psychology of eating, self-love, personal power, etc. So I started this project with Gordita Fit RD in Instagram to help people like me who are tired of suffering from weight issues. And it has taken off. And I find myself, after losing 103 pounds, sabotaging myself with emotional eating, and I have gained back 10 pounds.
Mhm.
10 pounds is almost nothing compared to 103, but every bariatric person knows the big fear that we have to go back to our previous weight. So, and I'm a person who is talking self-love, personal power. Let's do this. Let's be conscious. I'm very conscious that I'm eating to sabotage myself because maybe I'm afraid of success. Maybe I believe I don't deserve it, and that's what's happening. Like I eat sweets, sometimes some salty things, but mostly is desserts that I'm
Mhm.
sabotaging.
So, with emotional eating, then desserts, is it a specific time of day usually that you find yourself going there?
Yes, mostly at night.
Mostly at night. What time?
After I put my baby to sleep,
Mhm.
9 p.m.
Okay. So, your
Mhm.
mama just one child,
Yes, a
boy,
beautiful
girl?
a boy, 5 year old.
Oh, that's so sweet. How old are you?
I'm 37.
Hmm. And so it's you and your 5-year-old. Who else lives with you?
The nanny, I
Hmm.
have a person that helps, so she sleeps at my place. We have
Hmm.
like, yeah, help. Thank God.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And single mom?
I'm a single mother. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And where's
Well, separated, like separated. Well, I'm single now. Yeah.
okay. So once you had the bariatric surgery and you lost the weight, that was how many years ago? About 2 years ago?
2 years and 5 months, more or less. Yeah.
Okay. So how did the weight come off for you? Did your eating patterns change? Did you notice that?
Well, eating patterns have to change when you are very new to the surgery. So,
Mhm.
the first week is only liquids, and then they start putting more dense liquids, then soft foods, and then solids. But when I could eat solids, my nutritionist recommended to give importance to protein. So yes, I changed completely my diet. I used to have for breakfast eggs, a lot of salmon, grounded meat, chicken, stuff like that was my food for almost 4 months. Then gradually I started like getting more foods in.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
the weight came off like the first month, I lost 20 pounds the
mm-hmm.
first month. Then the second month, I almost like had an heart attack because I only lost 3 pounds
Mm-hmm.
because I was able to eat everything I wanted. So even though I could eat pretty little, I ate everything. Ice creams, stuff that I'm not supposed to do. And I only lost 3 pounds. That's when I almost freaked out and I decided to open an Instagram account to every Monday upload my weight. I did like public weigh ins to
Mm-hmm.
make myself accountable so I can reach my goal. And that was good. Like that helped me get to the 103 pounds lost. Yeah.
So before you gained back this 10 pounds, how was your eating pattern to you?
Yes. November 2019, more or less, I was happy. Like I was owning my power. I was in contact with my body. I knew what to eat. If I wanted to have dessert, I sit with a friend in a restaurant and eat, slowly, savor it. I was happy. November 2019, December 2019. But then for my page, um, and YouTube, I did a video interviewing a very famous personal trainer in Dominican Republic. He has his own diet, the SEMO diet. And people here are like very interested in that. So I recorded that YouTube video and I decided to try the diet. So, restriction in my head, that was it. Even before the pandemic, that was in January, the pandemic hit Dominican Republic more or less on March. And after that, when I tried to get back to a diet, a restrictive way of eating that doesn't work for me, it can work for other people, but for me, it doesn't work. Um, Everything went off. Like I needed to eat. All of a sudden, I had cravings. I started eating late, eating junk food. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
then the pandemic hit, and then my dad got sick. Yeah, it has been a rough year. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when my lovely intuitive and conscious eating back to restrictive and now, yeah.
Okay, so when you gain weight, you start to worry, oh my goodness, I'm going to really gain weight. That's the fear, yes?
Yeah. Yeah, the fear of gaining weight, and also like I feel, oh my God, I'm disappointing um people that I'm trying to inspire for them to change. I'm disappointing these people because I'm getting 10 pounds back.
Got it.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay, very interesting. Um, you know, I want to make a few suggestions right now. Usually I have to ask a lot of questions, and there's certainly lots more I would love to learn. And the idea, for our time together, I really want to do the best I can do for you in this one session to really see how can I help with suggestions, guiding you, giving you a different perspective. So, something that occurs to me, first of all, the good news is so many of us, and I include myself in this, we get into helping others with their health or their eating or their weight, their wellness, their fitness. We do it because of our own personal interest, right? We
Yeah.
we do it because of our own journey. And there's nothing wrong with that. First of all, I think it's wonderful. I don't know who said this, but we teach what we need to learn oftentimes. So there's something really beautiful about that. But at the same time, the challenge happens when here you're being very public about your journey. And what happens is when your journey is not going the way you want it to, it's almost worse because it's not just you dealing with you, it's you dealing with what you're imagining everybody else is thinking.
Yes.
So I'm just over here saying to myself, that's going to put so much extra pressure on you and so much extra stress that's almost too big to handle.
Yes. In the
And
middle, in the middle of all this, when I uploaded my weigh-ins, I had that post named Lunes de Peso, like Monday's weigh-in. So
mhm,
then in the process that I was learning, when I lost 50 pounds, I saw, oh my God, I'm not happy. I thought all my problems were going to be solved if I lose the weight.
yeah,
So when I started seeing that, I decided to, oh my God, and people also pressure so much themselves with weight. So I changed the name to Mondays of Wellness. And
mhm,
when I started gaining weight, like I decided, oh my God, this is like exactly you say, too much pressure. So I stopped all of writing on Mondays because it was too much for me. I was
yes,
so overwhelmed.
yes, yes, yes. So I just want to highlight something that you just mentioned. So many people think when I lose the weight, when I have the perfect body, then all my problems go away and everything's going to be happily ever after. I'm just going to have the best life. People will think that when I have all the money that I want, or when I have the perfect job or the perfect relationship, whatever it is. So many of us have that dream of when a certain things happen. In this case, I have the body that I want, all my problems go away. And I'm going to tell you what I've found over the years is that's just not true for weight. And it doesn't, there's a place where we have to then kind of make an adjustment and understand that, yeah, it's nice to weigh what you want to weigh. I'm all for that. I don't want to weigh a different way. I don't want to lose too much weight. I don't want to gain too much weight. So I want to weigh what I want to weigh. So I understand that. But I'm also aware that that number ultimately doesn't make me happy, or it doesn't have any power to really make me happy and to take all my other problems away. So I have a suggestion for you, and I want you to consider this, that if you're going to publicly document your journey with weight and your body, be 100% honest.
Mhm.
And by being 100% honest, what you're doing, and I'm not saying you should do this, I'm just making a suggestion. You see if this fits for you. And and be a real human being, because real human beings have challenges even in the best of times. You could have the best relationship, the greatest kid in the world, the best nanny, the perfect body, and there's always challenges that happen at some point along the way. And I think what might be happening for you is that when you feel good about what you're eating, you feel empowered, and you want to stay in that place forever.
Mhm.
I don't want to stay in this place forever. I feel good. I'm empowered. I'm eating exactly what I want to eat. And this, I have to be here forever. And sure, that would be nice. But you know this, if you look around at all the human beings that you know, nobody is in that empowered place forever. I don't care what it looks like on Facebook or Instagram. Nobody lives there forever.
Yes.
So I think for you, it might be a little bit of a readjustment to say, I'm going to have times when I am just feeling so good about myself and everything is working right. And I'm going to have times when it's not so great. And I'm going to have times when it's actually really challenging. And I think if we get on board with that's the flow of life, it takes some of the pressure off because, especially I find for your age, when we're in our 20s and 30s, we really want to hit our peak and stay there because you know what it feels good when you're at your peak. You know what that feeling feels
great.
Like. Right. It feels really good. And I think what happens is a lot of people get state addicted. We get addicted or attached to a certain state. That's what happens for a drug addict. If a drug addict does opiates or cocaine or alcohol, they get addicted to that state that they're in.
That feeling.
And I want to keep being in that feeling. Well, it's not, no, I can't be drinking all the time. I can't be smoking. I can't be doing that all the time. You're not going to be on top of that wave, superwoman, and be perfect all the time.
I think I did something like that this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm studying the psychology of eating, and I saw, oh my God, I need to unconditionally love myself, even in this place. And I need to see these 10 pounds, what is the message that they came to give me? So I started doing tapping, and I wanted to ask you about, EFT. What is your take on that? On focus on getting back on track, getting back on track with my weight and getting self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So also, I had like a talk with a friend, and I said, oh my God, I uploaded some posts saying that I was a couple of pounds, but I did a story saying, okay, so this is what happened. I feel super bad because I've gained 10 pounds. And I feel I'm disappointing you guys, but I decided to love myself unconditionally. And when I did that, like, I felt like some weight came off, like, oh, like I finally could breathe. Yeah. So I think I did that. But what I have been thinking, or a coach made me see, that maybe I'm addicted not to the good state of, oh, I feel empowered. No, maybe I am addicted to feeling bad, like when all my life being fat, all my life feeling like a failure, and now I feel good and I can help people, and people write me on DMs, oh, thank you so much because you're helping me, and maybe I'm addicted to feeling bad, so I need to go back and eat to feel fat.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you think.
Yeah, here's what I want to say about that. So there's a few things that you brought up here. First thing, you mentioned EFT. For those people who don't know what that is, it's emotional freedom technique. Tapping, same thing. It's I consider it just a wonderful mind-body tool for helping us reprogram the nervous system. So if you do tapping, I love that for you. That's great. It's excellent. It's just a wonderful tool. I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't like the assessment called I'm addicted to feeling bad.
Okay.
Because in a weird way, there's no cure for that. Oh my God, I'm addicted to feeling bad. What do I do? And it's a very, how do I want to say? It's a very negative self-assessment. I think a more positive and generous self-assessment is, the earlier part of my life looked like this. I was not happy. I didn't have the body that I wanted. And I had challenges and I didn't feel good about myself. And since that time, I've worked on myself. And I've worked on myself in so many different ways. And I've learned so many things. And gradually, I've come to feel better and better about myself. Sometimes I just feel so good about myself, I can't even remember what it felt like to feel bad about myself. And other times now, for whatever reasons, and sometimes it's stress, sometimes it's life, I don't feel good about myself. And guess what? In a weird way, it doesn't even have anything to do with weight, because when you started the emotional eating, in that moment, you weren't 10 pounds heavier. So you weren't emotionally eating because of your weight. You were emotionally eating because we're going to naturally turn to food when we don't feel good. And there's nothing wrong with that in my book. I really want to remind you that it's what we know as human beings. It's what we know as infants, as toddlers, as small children, teenagers, adults. We know feel bad, eat food, feel better. And that happens for every human being, for every animal. Feel bad, eat food, feel better. Dogs, cats, they eat, they feel much happier. So there's another piece of the puzzle here. I would love for you to consider letting go of the word sabotage, because you said a few times, I sabotage myself.
All my life.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So let's put it in a different language, that you're learning, and we're all learning this, you're learning how to nourish yourself in a good way every day. And that's not easy in a world that has a lot of stress, in a world that has a pandemic. That's not easy being a single mom. It's not easy being a person who's, trying to get a business to be successful. And just being a person in the world, it's not easy. So we're going to have times of challenges when we're more emotional and we're going to reach for food. That's not sabotage. What it is we're just doing what we know best how to do. So really, your job is, here you are, you've been eating more than you want to. You've identified that this is emotional eating. And when I say emotional eating, what I mean is that we're using food to help regulate and manage our emotions. I don't feel good, I eat, I feel better. I feel nervous, I eat, I relax. I feel angry, I eat. I feel sweeter and kinder. So your job is to just allow yourself to be a human being that has ups and downs.
Be more
And
compassionate.
yes, and notice that we often go to the big catastrophe. Oh my God, I'm doing this. I'm overeating. I'm emotional eating. I'm gaining a few pounds. That means all these terrible things. That means I'm going to gain back 100 pounds. My life is going to be ruined. Everything's going to fall apart. We tend to go to the worst case scenario in our mind. That's the mind. So it's our job, it's your job to notice when that happens, and then to look at the evidence. The true evidence is you've come a long way. The true evidence is that you have tools now. And life is always going to bring you new challenges. And then you're going to have to use the tools that you know, or you're going to have to find new tools to meet the new challenges. But I don't see you as taking a step back. You think you've taken a step back. I don't think so at all. I think this is you actually taking a step forward, believe it or not. And it's almost as if life is challenging you and saying, okay, Dayana, we're gonna give you some challenges, and yeah, you're gonna emotionally eat because that's what you know how to do. And now you can use your tools. So now you can put to use what you've learned. And that doesn't mean it's going to look perfect. It doesn't mean in one day you're going to be empowered Dayana again.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need you. The world doesn't need you to be super Dayana. I know you want to be her. I would much rather you be you. And sometimes you're going to be on the top of the world, and sometimes you're not. And that's why I said it's so lovely that you shared with your community, hey, gain a few pounds, not feeling good, feeling like I've disappointed you. But here's what I'm learning. I'm learning that I have to somehow relax and love myself in this place and care for myself and notice where I go into the stress and use my tools. Maybe that's tapping, maybe that's breathing, whatever you use to help relax yourself, calm yourself down, and remember that you know what to do to help yourself slowly get back on track.
Yeah. Earlier you said maybe that's helping you to help other people. Me gaining these pounds because I know how it feels to be obese all your life, but
Mhm.
I didn't know what it felt like losing the weight and gaining some back. And maybe I can help people who had bariatric surgery and has regained a lot of weight. Like now, I know how it feels, and the secret formula is, like you said, self-love, learn to love myself, be compassionate, not lose the need to be perfect, right? And use the tools.
Yes.
So yeah, you're making me see it more positive.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's, just in the last few minutes, it feels like your system has just like you've dropped into your body more.
Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes it's so easy for us to start to speed up when we have a difficulty and we want to figure it out. How do I get out of this? I'm emotionally eating. I gained 10 pounds. How do I get out of this? What do I got to do? And that's us being in the physiologic stress response. And when we're in a physiologic stress response, we act as if time is running out, and we act as if we're being chased, that this is a survival situation. If I don't figure this out, I'm going to die. And no, you're not going to die. At least
I
not
just
for another 60 years, maybe.
I said, wow, I never had seen that like that. Thank you.
Yeah. So when we start to relax a little bit more, and again, that's going to be tapping for you, that's your natural self. And when you and I are relaxed, that's when we make our best decisions.
Yes.
We make good survival decisions when we're stressed. If the lion is chasing you and you're running for your life, yeah, you're going to have to make very quick decisions. But when we're feeling stressed, but there's no actual lion chasing us, if we don't notice ourselves, it's going to be easy to make assessments like, oh, I'm sabotaging myself, or oh, I'm just addicted to feeling bad. No, you've been elevating yourself for many years now, and you've been working on yourself. And a lot of times life is, three steps forward and a step or two back, and then a couple of steps forward again. And the biggest challenge, I think, for a lot of us is standing by ourselves when we take that step back, and just standing by
Wow.
ourselves and not abandoning, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. Oh my God, I'm no good. Oh my God. And just, yeah,
Abandonment.
yes,
Can I say something
please,
there?
please.
Yes. When I was overweight for many years and depressed and anxious and feeling sorry about myself, I abandoned myself. Like I wasn't like I didn't care how I look. It was hard for me to find clothes, so I didn't buy clothes. I felt bad in public eye, so I never went out. I didn't have a social life, and I kind of abandoned me. Like I only work or try to help my parents or a friend in need. So my needs, myself, like oh, I abandoned myself, right? So now something similar happened because in this time that I gained the weight after, the go back from restriction, um, it came the pandemic, and also my dad got sick.
Mhm.
So all my attention went to helping, and I forgot about myself. And maybe that's something like the weight is coming to tell me. It's like maybe that's a message this 10 pounds is also saying to me, like, don't forget about yourself again.
Yeah,
Don't abandon
absolutely.
yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also there to, yes, don't abandon yourself, stay with yourself, care for yourself. And abandoning ourselves means I stop nourishing myself, I stop caring for myself, and I attack myself. I speak unkindly to myself. That's an abandonment. You wouldn't want your parent, your 5-year old, wouldn't want mommy saying, you're no good. You're sabotaging yourself. You shouldn't be gaining weight. You shouldn't. No, they would feel so hurt. And part of it in being with ourselves is being with ourselves no matter what. So you're going to love your child no matter what. If your child has a bad day, you're going to still love them. If they eat the wrong food, you still love them. If your best friend has a bad day, if your best friend gains 10 pounds, are you going to hate them and say, no, I'm not going to talk to you until you lose the weight? No, you're still going to love them. And so that's your job with you, is to really look at how you can still be your own best friend. And you're going to get even better at this now, because it's life. I think life works in this sort of cyclical way where we return occasionally to the old places, but from a higher perspective. So you're not the 13-year-old girl or the 18-year-old girl anymore. You're not her. But there's a part of you that's her. And you have to bring her with you in a good way. And this is the time when you have to take care of that little girl in you. So this is just like you being a mom to your 5-year-old. This is you being a mom to that girl inside you, who all of a sudden thinks this is so bad. I need to not take care of myself. This is going to be terrible. This is not going to work out for me. No, things have worked out for you.
Yeah, yeah, completely. Yeah,
Right?
thank you. Yes, yes, yes. You say you're going to love your son no matter what. And that's something that I want to say. Overweight people, and I don't like to generalize, but in my case, I didn't. I
Mm-hmm.
never accepted myself. I always rejected myself. And like you say, life has its ways. And my son was born with microtia. That means that he only has one ear. He has the inner ear channel, but he doesn't have, the ear, the outside. And that hit me hard, because can you imagine a person, I haven't I was fat there, that cannot accept herself, and then comes a baby, your son, with a condition. Nobody wants to have a baby, with some type of problem. So I think that that's like what life used to make me accept myself, because I went in postpartum depression, and I tried to run away from the situation with food, and it was impossible. And thank God, I believe in God. Like, I got to the point, oh my God, what are you going to do? This is your son. You love him, you know? You have to accept him. But to
Mm-hmm.
accept him, I need to accept myself. And that's when really things started to change for me. I started making decisions, good decisions for me and my son, when finally my life made me accept my son and accept myself. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah. what a beautiful story. And that's all he needs from you. He just needs you to love him, and not really much else. You'll make good decisions from there as best you can. And that's what your body wants from you. That's what our bodies are, just like people in a way. Bodies respond to love, and they also respond to hate and attack. If you or me, if we're being judged by somebody, like, somebody's judging you, that feels terrible. It's not going to bring out the best in us. It's not going to make us want to be open. It's not going to make us be happy. It's not going to make us want to be in connection with that other person. And the same happens when we're judging our own body. The body has its way of collapsing on us. It just can't do its job so well because it's not getting the basic love and respect that it needs. So I want to get back to this notion of, you have this social media community that you speak with, and I'd really love for you to spend some time and think about, what would it look like to really share your journey authentically and use it as a way to inspire people.
It's like that. Like when I started, none of my friends knew it. So I was like completely open and transparent. I even have a hashtag in Spanish that is aquí no bulto. So like it's real 100%. So yeah, but I was feeling like that, and I said it to my community, especially to my support group. I have a support group, and also then to all the community. Yeah. So it's liberating when you do that.
Yeah. So sharing the challenges and sharing the setbacks and sharing about, here's what I'm learning from this. And here's why, in a way, this setback is really a learning opportunity. So it's not like, if you're a religious girl and you believe in God, it's not like God's going to decide all of a sudden to pull the rug out from under you and not going to take care of you anymore. So this setback is here to teach you something.
Yeah, come back to love.
Yes, yes, yes. And go slow. So you don't have to lose this weight really fast. So there's no rush. You're not rushing your child to grow up. You don't wake up in the morning and say, hurry up and become 6 years old, or, hurry up and be 2 inches taller. No, you just, every day, we just be present and we relax, and you do what you need to do that day. So I just want to remind you that, and I've seen this for any human being that wants to lose weight. If we're in a rush to lose weight, then definitionally we're in a stress response. And if we're in a stress response, then definitionally you
don't lose it.
a biochemical soup inside of you of insulin and cortisol that will tend to signal the body to store weight and store fat and not build muscle. So it just so happens that the way life designed us, the way God designed us, is that we do our most creative thinking, we do our highest thinking when we're in a relaxation response. We do our best digesting, our best appetite regulation, and our best throughout the day calorie burning when we're in a relaxation response. So there's a place where, and it's not always easy. It's not like we're going to be relaxed all the time, but it's learning how to let go of the stress that's optional, that we're creating ourselves.
Exactly. Auto-impose, like I impose that stress to myself. Nobody is requiring from me that, Yeah. So it's a self-chosen stressor. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I would love for you, if this feels good to you, or it sounds like it might be a good idea, maybe even today, tonight, before you go to bed, just do a little bit of journaling about why you can be grateful for this experience that you're having right now around the emotional eating and gaining 10 pounds. How can I be grateful for that? How is this an opportunity for me to be a better person? How's this going to help me be a better mom? How's this going to help me be a better coach, better friend, better teacher, anything, a better woman?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's so hard, I think, to let go of our ideas of it's got to be perfect, It has to look and feel a certain way all the time because it feels so good when it feels good.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it does. And I think more is like I need to be perfect, probably not for me, but for others. And I don't feel good thinking about that, like
Mhm.
the only one I need to make happy is myself, right? So
Yeah, yeah. And perfection is, to me, that's like a virus. It's hard not to catch it. If you're born into this world, so many people catch the virus called perfectionism. I have to have the perfect body, the perfect weight, the perfect life, the perfect shape, the perfect whatever it is. And if I'm just perfect, then everybody will love me. I'll love myself, and then there's no more problems. So, really, perfection is the dream of no more problems, no more worries, no more bad emotions. Everybody loves me, and all the badness just goes away. And that's what the child in us wants. But the adult in us has to remember that that's not what the world is. Yeah, the world has a lot of beauty and it has a lot of love in it, but the world is very imperfect. People are imperfect. We're imperfect.
mhm. Yes, that's right.
How are you feeling right now?
Grateful,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit released, and yes, like confirming that this is a learning opportunity for me
Mm-hmm.
to love myself even more, be compassionate, and lose the little bit of perfectionism that still remains. Like I knew I made a lot of improvement, but after this situation, oh, look, this is a place you can love yourself. You can stop trying to be perfect,
Yeah. It's so easy when we want to lose weight. What we naturally do is we focus on losing the weight. And oftentimes, if we want to lose weight, there's other things that we need to lose first before we can lose the weight. For a lot of people, sometimes we have to lose the self attack or lose some of the perfectionism. And we're never going to be perfect at all this, We can lose some of the self attack or some of the self rejection. And that's great. Sometimes before we lose the weight, we have to lose the intense need to lose the weight. So many of us have had the experience, you really want something, and no matter how hard you want it, you don't get it. And then someday you just forget about it, okay,
and
whatever,
then get it.
and then it comes.
Yeah, it's like what you resist persists. In
Mm-hmm.
that situation, you
Yeah.
resist so much the weight, and the weight sticks with you. But when you, okay, I'm going to shift my focus from losing the weight to love myself and learning how to eat. For example, like you told me earlier, you need to learn how to eat for, like, properly for you, instead of I need to lose weight. Then the weight comes off, right?
Yes, yes. And, also as you're looking to lose weight this time around, I'd love for you to think about maybe taking a week, just 7 days, and say to yourself for 7 days, I'm not even going to think about losing this weight. Okay. I'm going to just pretend that this is my weight and I'm going to just live my life, not trying to change my body, that this is my body. In the same way, this is my child. You have your child. This is your child. You're not trying to change your child. You realize this is my child. This is who he is. So he is. This is what he looks like. This is him. So we're not trying to change him. In fact, we're just wanting him to be who he is, be who he truly is. So there's a place where you can love your body the way it is right now, or just even accept it. You don't have to love it. You can like it
Mhm.
and welcome it and just embrace it and say, okay, I'm not going to try to make you do something for the next week and
Yeah.
just let you hang out and just make friends with it. And it might not be the body that you want, but it's the body you have right now. And there's something that I think is very healing when we're able to relax into, oh, okay, this is my body right now, and I don't have to change it. And I can't change it right in this moment anyway. It can happen over time. But to just have the feeling like, oh, I don't have to do anything right now. There's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When we're able, I find, to want the body that we have, it's easier to have the body that we want.
Wow. Okay. I'll
Yeah,
try that. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll do that homework.
You're such a good client.
Thank you. I'm learning from the best.
Uh, that's very sweet of you. I'm very, I'm truly impressed by your journey and what you've shared and what you've gone through and where you are today, right now. And, the important thing is that you have a lot of light and you have a lot of love and you want to share it with people. And, people, especially when it comes to the body, we have our ups and downs, and that's what we all need. How do I love my body in the downs as well as the ups? The ups is easy. The time when we have exactly what we want, that's easy. Anybody could do that, just about. So the fact that you've been on this journey and here you are, it's still working on yourself in a very sweet way and also wanting to help others along the way. I just think that's really beautiful and just wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Saying that makes me feel so much better.
Yeah. And I think your son is really lucky, got a good mama.
Thank you.
Yeah. And, I would love to get an update from you whenever you feel like, shooting me an email and just let me know how you're doing and how things are working out.
Perfect. Yes. I need your email.
I'll make sure my staff gets it to you. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm a student of the Mind Body Eating Coach. It has been such a great experience. I've learned so much. I think that has helped me get to the point that I am now. Like before the call, like I started tapping and remembering, hey, what is the message of this weight? And I'm very happy, and I know I'll help a lot of people after this certification program is the best. So thank you so much.
Thanks for the kind words. I'm so happy that we did this together. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And take care, everybody. Till next time.
Hey friends, we're so happy that you've joined us for another episode of The Psychology of Eating with Marc David. Are you loving these episodes? Then simply subscribe and you'll never miss an episode again. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a comment below so we can hear more about your own journey with food and body. And if you're curious about what we offer at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, including our internationally acclaimed coach certification training that's rooted in dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition, please head on over to our website, psychologyofeating.com. Until next time, take care. And remember, having the body you want starts with loving the body you have.